Grand Admiral Thrawn rose up the ranks of the Empire rather quickly, and he was one of the only aliens that Palpatine truly trusted. But there was a time that the two had to meet for the first time. And that is what this video is about. How Thrawn and Palpatine met for the first time, and then Thrawn got his true attention by asking about Anakin Skywalker. So, we will begin reading a bit from the first book in the canon Thrawn trilogy by Timothy Zahn. For some background, before we do, Thrawn got himself captured and is being taken directly to the Emperor. He is smart. This was all part of the plan he wanted, as he wants to talk to the Emperor about teaming up to help Thrawn's planet from enemies that may emerge. Here's that excerpt now, with other characters in the background, such as Cadet Eli Vanto, and a couple captains around to observe. So, let's get into it, first with Thrawn stating his plan and his 3 cards that he was playing to get to this point. War is primarily a game of skill. It is a contest of mind matched against mind, tactics matched against tactics. But there is also an element of chance that is more suited to games of cards or dice. A wise tactician studies those games as well, and learns from them. The first lesson of card games is that the cards cannot be played in random order. Only when laid down properly can victory be achieved. In this case, there were but 3 cards. The first was played at the encampment. The result was entrance to the Strikefast, where Thrawn got himself captured. And then the second was played aboard the ship. The result was the promise of passage to Coruscant, and the assignment of Cadet Vanto as my translator. The third was a name to get their attention: Anakin Skywalker. Walking into Palpatine's office, they told Emperor Palpatine they had a gift for him, and it was Thrawn. "And what, pray tell, would you have me do with him?" Palpatine asked. "If I may, your majesty," Thrawn put in before Park could answer. "I am not merely a gift. I am also a resource, one you have never seen the like of before, and may never see of again. You would do well to utilize me." "Would I?" the Emperor said, sounding amused. "Certainly you're a resource of unlimited confidence. What exactly do you offer, Chiss?" "As a start, I offer information," Thrawn said. If he was offended, Eli couldn't hear it in his voice. "There are threats lurking in the unknown regions. Threats that will someday find your empire. I am familiar with many of them." "I will learn of them soon enough on my own," the Emperor countered. "Can you offer anything more?" "Perhaps you will learn of them in time to defeat them," Thrawn said. "Perhaps you will not. What more do I offer? I offer my military skill. You could utilize that skill in making plans to seek out and eliminate these dangers." "These threats you speak of," the Emperor said, "I presume they're not simply threats to my empire?" "No, your majesty," Thrawn said. "They are also threats to my people." "And you seek to eliminate all such threats to your people?" "I do," Thrawn responded. The Emperor's yellowish eyes seemed to glitter. "And you wish the help of my empire?" "Your assistance would be welcome," Thrawn responded. "You wish me to assist the people who exiled you?" the Emperor said. "Or was Captain Park incorrect?" "He spoke correctly," Thrawn said. "I was indeed exiled." "Yet you still seek to protect them. Why?" "Because they are my people." "And if they withhold their gratitude and refuse to accept you back, what then?" There was a slight pause, and Eli had the eerie sense that Thrawn was giving the Emperor one of those small smiles he was so good at. "I do not need their permission to protect them, your majesty, nor do I expect their thanks." "I've seen others with your sense of nobility," the Emperor said. "Most fell by the wayside when their naive selflessness collided with the real world." "I have faced the real world, as you call it." "You have indeed," the Emperor said. "What exactly do you wish from my empire?" "A state of mutual gain," Thrawn said. "I offer my knowledge and skill to you now in exchange for your consideration to my people in the future." "And when that future comes, what if I refuse to grant that consideration?" "Then I will have gambled and lost," Thrawn said. "But I have until that time to convince you that my goals and yours do indeed coincide." "Interesting," the Emperor murmured. "Tell me, if you served the Emperor, yet a threat arose against your people, where would your loyalties lie?" which of us would command your allegiance? I see no conflict in the sharing of information, Thrawn said. I'm not speaking of information, the Emperor said. I'm speaking of service. There was a short pause. If I were to serve the Empire, you would command my allegiance, Thrawn said. What guarantee do you offer? My word is guarantee, he responded. Perhaps your servant can speak to the strength of that vow. My servant, the Emperor asked, his eyes flicking to Park. I do not refer to Captain Park. I speak of another. Perhaps I assumed incorrectly that he was your servant, yet he always spoke highly of Chancellor Palpatine. The Emperor leaned forward a little, his yellowish eyes glittering. And his name? Skywalker, Thrawn said. Anakin Skywalker. And then Thrawn and Palpatine would go on to discuss an agreement, with Palpatine knowing now who this was. He would ask his name, and Thrawn would respond with Thrawn. And Palpatine knew from the Clone Wars, from his time getting to know Anakin, that he had worked with Thrawn, and he knew that Anakin spoke very highly of Thrawn, stating his military expertise. So, Palpatine agreed. This would be a mutual agreement. They would work together. In assistance, Thrawn would work as the advisor for what goes on in the unknown regions in exchange for the Empire helping them protect Thrawn's planet. So this was their first meeting, and this was Thrawn playing his cards right, using Anakin Skywalker's name to truly get the attention of Palpatine, because Palpatine knew about the relationship between Thrawn and Anakin, which I will dive into in a different day. I wanted to get into this because it really caught my attention. It's always interesting to know how Palpatine deals with certain people. And he wasn't a big fan of aliens, but he knew Thrawn's reputation did precede him, because Anakin had told him. So, hope you enjoyed. Let me know what you thought of this. Thanks for watching, and I'll see you in the next video.